What is the most dangerous meat in the world? It's a question that sparks immediate curiosity, conjuring images of exotic toxins or deadly pathogens. But the answer isn't as simple as naming a single animal or dish. Danger in food can manifest in many ways. It can be an immediate, acute threat like a potent poison, or it can be a long-term, insidious risk that develops over years of consumption. It can also be the danger of infectious disease lurking within improperly handled flesh. To find the most dangerous, we must examine these different forms of risk. When people think of dangerous meat, one dish often comes to mind: fugu. This Japanese delicacy, prepared from pufferfish, contains a potent neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. This substance is far more lethal than cyanide. Tetrodotoxin concentrates in specific organs of the fish, such as the liver and ovaries. If these parts are not meticulously removed, even a tiny amount can be fatal. Symptoms begin with numbness around the mouth, followed by paralysis, and ultimately, respiratory failure. Only highly trained and licensed chefs are permitted to prepare fugu in Japan. They undergo rigorous apprenticeships and pass stringent exams. Despite these precautions, accidental poisonings still occur, though thankfully less frequently than in the past. The danger here is immediate and absolute. It's not about quantity over time, but about the presence of a specific, powerful toxin. For this reason, fugu is arguably the most acutely dangerous meat one could intentionally consume. Another significant danger comes from consuming meat from wild animals, often referred to as bushmeat. This practice, common in certain parts of the world, carries a high risk of zoonotic disease transmission. These are diseases that jump from animals to humans. Many devastating diseases, including Ebola, HIV, and various coronaviruses, are believed to have originated from pathogens present in wild animal populations. Handling or consuming infected bushmeat can expose humans to these novel viruses and bacteria. The danger here is unpredictable and potentially catastrophic, not just for the individual but for global public health. It bypasses the usual safety nets of regulated food production. The risk is tied directly to exposure to potentially unknown or highly virulent pathogens. While not a risk faced by most people in their daily diet, bushmeat represents a significant infectious danger in specific contexts. It highlights how the source and handling of meat are critical factors in its safety. Perhaps the most widespread and significant danger associated with meat consumption, particularly in developed nations, isn't an acute poison or a rare virus. It's the long-term health impact of regularly eating certain types of meat. This brings us to processed meats and excessive red meat consumption. Processed meats include items like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats. They are modified to improve flavor or preservation through salting, curing, fermentation, smoking, or other processes. Numerous studies have linked regular consumption of processed meats to increased risks of serious chronic diseases. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, classifies processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. This means there is strong evidence that it causes cancer, specifically colorectal cancer. The risk increases with the amount consumed. Red meat, such as beef, lamb, and pork, is classified by IARC as a Group 2A carcinogen, meaning it is probably carcinogenic to humans. The evidence is strong, though not as conclusive as for processed meats. High consumption is also linked to increased risks of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. The danger from processed and excessive red meat is cumulative. It builds up over years, contributing to the development of major non-communicable diseases that are leading causes of death worldwide. This isn't a sudden, dramatic threat, but a slow, persistent one. Beyond specific types of meat, there's the ever-present danger of contamination. Raw or undercooked meat can harbor common foodborne pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, and Campylobacter. These bacteria can cause severe gastrointestinal illness and in vulnerable populations can be fatal. Proper cooking and handling are essential to mitigate this risk. Cross-contamination, where pathogens spread from raw meat to other foods or surfaces, is another common source of danger. This highlights that even seemingly safe meats can become dangerous if not treated with care. This type of danger is perhaps the most common globally. It's not inherent to the meat itself in the same way as tetrodotoxin in fugu, but rather a consequence of microbial presence and human error in preparation. So, what is the most dangerous meat in the world? If we define danger as the potential for immediate, acute fatality from a single exposure, fugu prepared incorrectly likely holds that title due to its potent natural toxin. If we define danger by the risk of triggering devastating global pandemics, bushmeat poses a unique and significant threat due to zoonotic pathogens. However, if we define danger by the scale of long-term health impact on the largest number of people globally, the regular consumption of processed meats and excessive red meat likely represents the most significant dietary danger. These contribute substantially to the burden of chronic diseases that affect millions. Ultimately, the most dangerous meat depends on how you frame the risk. Is it the dramatic, rare threat or the pervasive, chronic one? For most health-conscious individuals navigating their daily diet, the evidence points towards the cumulative dangers of processed and excessive red meat as the most relevant and impactful threat to long-term health. Understanding these different facets of danger is key to making informed choices about what we eat.